Hey everyone, welcome back. If you're new here, I'm Katie, and today's weekly book review is on A Constant Love by Tracie Peterson. Thank you to Bethany House for sending me a copy of this book to read and talk about with you all. This is the first book in the Hope of Cheyenne series, and this is set in, I don't know if it's the same world, but the first trilogy that came out last year was also set in Cheyenne, so this series is also going to be set in Cheyenne, and I really enjoyed this one. I feel this Tracie Peterson book especially deals with tough topics, especially dealing with suicide. So just be prepared of that going into this book. But I loved the characters, including myself because my name's in here. But I really enjoyed this one. So in this one, we're following Micah and Charlotte, and they've been pretty much best friends since they were little. Micah grew up with her and her brother, and they deal with a very big aftermath of a huge winter storm that pretty much decimates the entire coast of, I wouldn't say coast, but the entire area of Cheyenne. And she loses her part of her family, and he loses part of his family. And so he pretty much, they kind of deal with grief in two different ways. He deals with the idea of grief plus it's his fault that his family passed away, and she's just dealing with the grief of losing her family. And so they kind of split ways a few years, and then they come back and they're working on her ranch. It's two women who own a ranch without no men, which I really enjoy kind of seeing the struggles that both of these women dealt with as they were kind of forced to be kind of in the background of ranch living, where like they still were in charge of their ranch, but as far as like the town went, they still needed to have a man running the ranch back then. So they weren't allowed to ranch meetings in the town, so they pretty much had to have Micah or somebody else go into the town. Well, Charlotte's finally like, listen, we got to get Micah out of his depression. So she visits him and invites him over to her house and says, we got to get you back into shape, buddy. And so dealing with that, and then we got a rogue character, which he is absolutely terrible. He comes in the picture saying, listen, hey, your father had an agreement with me that you were going to be my bride. And Charlotte's like, no way, no how. They're like, I'm not going to deal with that. So it was just such a great story. I always love Tracie Peterson's kind of intrigue and mystery, and she does some really good dastardly characters. I love her dastardly characters, and he was a pip for sure, but I thoroughly enjoyed it. I loved the town. I loved the setting of the ranch life. I don't think I could ever be a ranch girl, but I wouldn't mind visiting there. I don't know if I would be able to live that lifestyle, but I really enjoyed the story. So I will link this down below where you can purchase a copy from Baker Bookhouse, because they always have free shipping and really good deals on their books for the US shipping. I hope you all have a wonderful day, and I will see you all in the next video.